Russia is about to enter the battleground in Gaza, not as a belligerent force, but a peacemaker. Amidst stalled negotiations mediated by the US, Israel has turned to Russia for help in securing the release of hostages held by Hamas. That's a tight slap by Israel on America's face. On September 1st, the Israeli Prime Minister's office revealed that Netanyahu's military secretary had just returned from Moscow, where he discussed a potential deal with Hamas. However, the statement did not clarify whether any agreements were reached. Israel's decision to seek Russia's assistance might seem surprising, but it makes sense with the ongoing conflict with Hamas. Diplomatic efforts by the US, Qatar, and Egypt have not yielded results, leading Israel to approach Moscow. Russia has long standing ties with various Palestinian factions, including Hamas. This highlights Russia's strategic role in the Middle East, where it influences players that Western diplomats might struggle to reach. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is exploring alternative channels to address the hostage crisis, as traditional international mediators have been ineffective. Despite numerous negotiations and offers, Hamas continues to reject deals for the release of captives and has engaged in further violence. Recently, the bodies of 6 hostages, including a Russian citizen named Alexander Lobanov, were discovered in Gaza's tunnels. This likely prompted Netanyahu to seek Russia's help and more actively given its interest in protecting its citizens. Netanyahu faces growing domestic pressure to resolve the hostage situation. Mass strikes have erupted in Israel, led by the Histadrut, the country's largest labor federation. Histadrut leader Arnon Bar David has emphasized that the hostage issue is the most urgent matter. These strikes and rising societal discontent are destabilizing Netanyahu's position. Failure to secure resolution could jeopardize his role as leader and potentially lead to his resignation or prosecution due to ongoing corruption allegations. For Netanyahu, engaging with Russia is not just a diplomatic maneuver, but also a strategic effort to maintain his political standing. Each day, the hostage remains captive increases the risk to his position. Seeking Russia's assistance is a way to address a critical situation that threatens his career. Russia also sees this request as an opportunity to enhance its influence in the Middle East. By strengthening its ties with Israel and showcasing its role as a key international mediator, Russia aims to resolve complex regional conflicts. Moscow's established connections with Hamas make it a significant player in negotiations for the hostage release. Russia can leverage its influence to push for a compromise that has been elusive so far. The outcome of the cooperation between Israel and Russia could have significant implications for the Gaza conflict. If Moscow succeeds in negotiating with Hamas, it would not only increase Russia's influence in the region, but also help Israel address a major issue in the current conflict. Meanwhile, the US continues its effort to broker a ceasefire, but the situation remains complicated with deep disagreements between the two parties. With the upcoming November presidential elections, Biden's administration's leverage over Israel and Hamas is pretty limited. Netanyahu's pivot towards Russia again reveals that Western nations can't be trusted completely, even by some of their strongest allies. According to sources in Turkey's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the US has indicated it will exit the talks if no progress is made within 2 weeks. USA's sudden exit from talks will not only leave Israel vulnerable, but also further destabilize the situation in the Middle East. As Russia prepares to enter the Gaza conflict, we can now finally hope for a much needed peace deal between Hamas and Israel.